Alright, here's the kit. So, we got intake manifolds, we got velocity stacks, we got throttle bodies. Looks like this is going to be direct port fuel injection, so straight into the intake manifold. We got air cleaners, I got spark plugs, I got an OBD2 sensor. Here's my fuel injectors. Yeah. Oh wait, yep, fuel injectors are in there. We also got head temp sensor, and I think we got head temp sensor for each side, I believe, if I remember right. And there's my OBD2. We've got ignition wires. I got spark plugs. Here's the fuel injection manifolds. I got my Gen 4 computer, which is a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. I mean, this is, you know, bigger than my hand. And I plan on building another box for it to go in. I'm gonna hopefully get it as watertight as I can. You know, if I'm going to be off-roading through the mud and stuff with this thing, you know, I want to make sure my computer stays protected and doesn't get wet. All right, I got all my electrical wires, my relays. This is looks like a USB to VDI or VCI. Something says it on there. No, USB to serial adapter, and then there's the serial adapter cable. I'm not sure about that yet. Yeah, nice little plugs here for the computer. Everything's pretty plug and play. Alright, since I went crank trigger, I have the distributor block off, distributor hole plug basically. So it's going to sit on top of that distributor drive gear, so the distributor drive gear can still spin, and yeah, it won't come flying out of the hole or anything. So, you know, it's good to have. And then here, of course, is my crank trigger pulley, and then all the mounts for the crank trigger itself. That was probably one of the sensors that are around here somewhere. I'm not sure. Might be one of these. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's the crank trigger for the crank position sensor. Nice. Yeah, here's my turbo fuel pump. 12 volt. I don't know what the pressure is. It's over 100 psi, something like that. You know, normal fuel injection pressure. Here's a number 6 straight push-on aluminum hose end. Assuming it's for the fuel filter. You know, high pressure fuel going through there. You want to have a good connector for it so it doesn't leak. Here's a T for my fuel tank, stock fuel tank. So probably yeah, an outlet. Okay. I'll figure all that out. Alright. Here's all my, not sure, fuel lines. Looks like, oh yeah, one of these, oh, this is probably, yeah, I haven't opened this box yet, but I'm assuming this is for my cold start. I forgot what they called it. What is it? Cold start. It's in here. Idle air control. That's what it's for. Yeah. So my idle air control, so I can cold start and it'll bring up the RPMs using vacuum pressure to help warm up the engine on a cold start. Basically, this right here, idle air. Oh, I'm sorry. Idle air control mount 6 3/8 rubber hose. Yeah, that's this. Or one of these. Looks like, yep, that's my fuel pressure regulator. yeah, we'll get that all installed, figure it out. I gotta download the instructions on how to install all this stuff. Oh yeah, here's my ignition coil. It's pretty nice. Look at that. 3142. Keeps the guesswork out of it. Hell yeah. But yeah, I still need that because it's a crank trigger. So basically, instead of a distributor, it's got a crank position sensor. It's gonna, you know, basically tell the spark plug when to fire based on the position of this wheel on the crankshaft. Cool. Well, yeah, that's probably it. And then my throttle. I have the CSP kit on my engine, like I've mentioned in previous videos, but I don't know if I like it for off-road because this thing is always getting gummed up with dirt and grease, and I just lubed it again. You know, I've driven it a couple times to and from work, and it hasn't seized up on me. But I did go off-roading the other day, and this thing was getting caught. So then my throttle was getting stuck, and then my RPMs were just shooting up. So probably I might consider getting rid of that, you know. But I do like it because it's nice and clean, and especially when I'm going to get rid of my distributor, and you know, this will be gone, you know, and I'll probably just keep this block off plate. It came with a block off plate, but I'll probably just keep this CB Performance one. It just looks nice, even though it's all faded from the sun. It was red at one point, but clearly it's not red anymore. It's been sitting outside and, you know, gotten wet and everything. So yeah, it'll be nice to clean this all up. And I think I'm going to put my fan back on my external oil cooler, just because even when I did drive it the other day and I put my little heat gun on there, that I got one of this fine tool on there, and it was reading about 207 on my oil cooler. So I think that's still a little bit too warm. You know, my gauge was reading about 185, and you know, when I put it on the case, it was, I think, 230, something like that. My head temp was about 350. You know, just using that. What is that? The thermostat. I forgot what kind. Radar, or what is it? What am I trying to say? Yeah, this laser temp sensor. So, I mean, I feel like this thing's pretty accurate. Got it from Ace Hardware, like 50 maybe, or 75, somewhere in there. I don't remember. But yeah, it's pretty accurate. And my head temps were pretty even. You know, I put it on, pointed at both sides, and they were both, you know, they were within about 3 degrees. So it was about 355, like I said, on the head, 225-ish on the case, and about 207 on my cooler. I think that's still a little bit warm. So yeah, I think I'm gonna put my fan on. I'll hook that up. And I don't know what I'm gonna do about a temperature sensor for this thing, because before I had it in line with the outlet going back into the engine just to see what my outlet was on here, and then it would kick my fan on. This is a 180 degree temp switch, but you know, we'll see what we do. I'll figure something out. I'll figure out a place to put it, way to kick that on, because I don't want to cut into these and have to put new fittings in there or anything. You know, I could put it down here because there's still an outlet coming out of my fuel filter line, so I could put it in line here, and I just have to take the fittings off of that and splice it in. But yeah, I might do that. I might just put it in here so I don't have to cut up my AN lines. You know, I do have more fittings where I could put some more AN lines on these, and then I could cut it in. I don't know, we'll see. But these are fine. These don't really leak at all. The only thing I've mentioned before in my previous videos is I do have leaking coming out of, it looks like, you know, somewhere in the bypass setup. Could be in the filter, and it looks like, you know, I have a little bit of oil coming out of these fittings coming out of the bypass, which, like I said, there's some O-rings in there, and I replaced them, so I don't know why they're still leaking. I have it nice and tight and everything, so, but these things are good. These aren't leaking at all. I don't have any residue coming out of there, which is nice, which was the problem I was trying to fix originally, is to keep those from leaking. But we'll see. Might pull the engine out too, and check the clutch. Feels like my clutch is slipping a little bit. You know, it's been like that for a while, and I just kind of keep babying it. But you know, it grabs on. It just feels like it's slipping when I'm trying to take off initially. So I might pull it off. You know, if anything, I could just sand it down a little bit and kind of refresh it, or maybe just order a new one and break that in. But you know, it runs. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun little upgrade. We'll get this fuel injection set up, installed, figure everything out. I got to download some instructions online. I have them on my phone. I'll probably just print them off, you know, so I know exactly what I'm doing. Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a nice little setup. I'm excited to get it on here. And I've been waiting a little while to do this. Just kind of debating if I was going to do it now or wait until my garage was done, or, you know, it's still kind of in the middle of projects everywhere. You know, I finally got this garage built, starting to do the insulation in here and everything. Just a tedious process. I got to cut these up and put them on the wall, and then, you know, just got to keep knocking it out. And it's kind of hot out here. Got the fan on. Finally got some lights in here, and it's actually, these are pretty bright, just these two 8-foot LED lights. And I put, you can see I put these brackets in. I was going to do basically 4 more, so two more on each side to get even more light in here. But you know, it's pretty good with just that, so I might just roll with that for a little while, you know, get the insulation done. And I don't know if I want to get too deep into it, but I got this insulation. It's basically double bubble. It's from Blue Tex in Texas. It's got the sticky stuff on one side. These are 62 inches wide, so it gives it a little extra if you want to overlap it, do it that way. Or I think I'm just gonna end up tucking them in here. I think it'll still provide the same amount of heat resistance, and you know, I'm still pretty happy about it. But it's just putting the sticky stuff on there and then screwing it in to these beams. I feel like I'm losing garage space, and then if I want to mount anything on the wall, then I gotta, you know, figure out where everything is, and I gotta, you know, I'd rather just have everything tucked in nice. I can still have access to all my studs, basically the framing for the building, you know. You know, if I want to put like a 2x4 here, or, you know, going across or something like that, I can see where everything is, and I kind of know where my wiring is. Like, I wired all this stuff in, so I basically just wired in a power outlet over here, and then I have this thing piggyback to a switch, and you know, so basically just have that switch wired in, and then another power outlet up there, and it turns on and off with the switch, and it's just turning off the other power outlet. So I feel like that was the best way to do it. I don't have any of those little building twist things in there. I just have it wired in directly to the terminals, and it works. So, you know, so yeah, I think I might do that. And as you can see, this one's probably the one that's most complete, but basically put the piece of furring strip on top of the insulation, and then when I do the roof, it's just going to get screwed into that, and then it's going to get screwed in the same way that these are screwed in to the frame vertically, basically. And it's going to go up over the lights, so it's not going to cover the lights or anything like that, and should create some pretty good insulation in here, at least feel a little bit shaded. And then I'll get a little roll around AC and heat pump unit. And then eventually I'll do the ceramic, or not the ceramic, but the epoxy floors. And still gotta put some gravel barrier over here and put my gravel down, so I have a nice little drive up, and I have it sloped pretty good. It's all gonna slope away from the building. You know, shouldn't have too much water coming inside if it rains or whatever. If not any, hopefully. Yeah, so that's the plan. All right, get to it maybe in the next couple days, have everything out of here, have everything out of the car, and then start putting stuff in, wiring stuff in, and just initial startup will be with my laptop to get everything running nice and smooth. But you know, maybe a week or two I'll have it all knocked out. Now I'm just kind of in the planning process, see how I want to attack this. But here's all the parts, like I said, and yeah. Hope you enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys on the next update.